What's going on tonight, everybody? I kind of want to make a follow-up video to the soap skin and bubble video that I made a couple nights ago. When I was doing that video, I tried to kind of make it as simple as possible, but I realized that by the way that I kind of introduced the add-on to some people, it probably actually made it more complicated than I actually did help. Since some people were asking some pretty valid questions. It's like because I don't typically use it like that, but I figured that that'd be like the easiest way to show it. Which, like I said, it just wasn't really that smart. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna quickly kind of show how I go about doing it, and also something that you can do with Valley Architects if you have the package, because there's also something that you can do to help simplify landscapes, and it's a really great tool. So what I'm going to do right off the bat is I'm just going to kind of make that like weird design that I had before. So maybe if I just go like this, um, something like that should be good. Then I'm going to delete the extra lines here. So we'll get rid of these. We will connect this, and then we'll just have one coming up here. Okay, so what I did last time is I actually drew the house first, because what I kind of thought is that like having all the different meshes, like I could kind of give more examples of how I actually put soap skin in. But then we had those kind of like hard lines, which I didn't really think much of at the time, but I realized that that's probably a very annoying thing for most people kind of in hindsight now. So the way you can fix it is just do skin. And then this one you can just do like 25. It doesn't matter. Like as long as the um, it's just the amount of squares that it's going to generate. So if you see 25, like it's going to give you basically the same effect. So as you can see, it's kind of locked up. So we'll just hit X, Y. We'll go in this. I'll select everything, and then I'll go to soften smooth. And then you are going to get some of these edges kind of like that. And so you can just go through and clean these up. Maybe what I might actually do though is just for time's sake, is I'm going to go back one. I'm going to do 10 because I think this worked last time. So if I hover all these, yeah, so that works pretty well. So I will just kind of go through and do this quick. So you can click on them, right click. I'm not sure why the soften smooth doesn't get rid of all of them, because you can go through and manually do this. It just takes a while because you have to do them one by one, which again, not really a big deal. It's just kind of annoying. Like maybe there's a way around that, but yeah, just kind of a quick example. So now what we basically have is just one solid face. As you can see, it is curved. If I double click on it, you can see all the topology with that. So how do we cut a hole in it? Well, first we're gonna have to make a little rectangle here, and I think we want to put it over here more. Yeah, that's good. So what I'm going to do is drag it up a little bit. I'm going to make this a group. And I'm going to tap in here. I'm going to pull it up till it's like here. And I'll just pull this up a little bit. Maybe I'll just put a little roof on here like we did last time. So that is here. I click here and here. Right. So what we can do now is we can just kind of drape something on. So you can just find a spot like, actually, maybe we'll get rid of this roof. If you go like right here, just trace this is the kind of the footprint of the building. So if I click on this face, and I go to drape, as you can see now there is a line going around each way. So if I were to just hide this quickly, and I delete this, then as you can see, this is what we're left with. And I can just come in here, click it, and then it's gone. And what you can also do is this one doesn't necessarily apply to like soap, skin, and bubble in the same way. But this is kind of a cool little example, and I will be making a video about the Valley Architects, like the entire package at some point. But what I want to just show you what it can kind of do is, let's pretend that this is like you downloaded this mesh from like the 3D warehouse, and it was kind of all over the place. It was really disjointed. You had like all those like lines, like if someone basically like you definitely know them, like people kind of put lines in the landscape and then just drag them up and down. And so it's like while the landscape is moving, it's making all these terrible triangles everywhere that aren't smooth, and it's making all these individual faces. What you can come in and do is you basically just select an object with Valley Architects, and you go make terrain over objects. Number of grids, I think we put this down to like one. You have to play around with these a little bit sometimes if you don't get the result that you want. But what this effectively does is it makes it so it kind of like, it makes this cutout. And so at first it may look bad because obviously Soapskin and Bubble does do this well. But what's so powerful with the Vali Architects one is that you can put this on any mesh that's like a mess. And then you're going to get pretty like, fairly clean stuff out of it. So what we can do is we can just turn on hidden geometry. And then if we just select this stuff here, hit delete, and then you have a pretty clean mesh just like that. And I think we can just get rid of this corner here. And so that's a great alternative. If you have like a scene from the 3D warehouse that, like I said, is like really messy, the Vali Architects, the landscape, I really, really like that tool. Just because of the simplicity of it. And you, as you could see, you do like a little bit of adjustments, but not that bad. But that is how you would remove those like hard lines from Soapskin and Bubble. It is like, yeah, like it's really like there's a ton of different ways to do it. The drape tool is a great one. Someone actually mentioned on the comments of the last video that you can also use the tools on surface. So this one, for example, like this is tools on surface rectangle. You can draw little squares on it. And so that's one way of doing it. I find this one is a little bit more difficult to like kind of maneuver with. It can be a little bit weird, but you do like offset, that kind of thing. So it's a really cool tool. It's just that I think that there are ones that work better in this particular scenario, but that is actually an add-on I would recommend you download because I do use this all the time. The offset on face is the one that I use the most. Like, I think that is a fantastic tool. But yeah, so those are two quick ways that you can kind of fix the Soapskin and Bubble. So one is Vali Architects. That's kind of the paid way, which I don't think it's very expensive, but it is paid nonetheless. And then you can kind of see how to do that with just sandbox tools. And yeah, if you bring that into Lumion, that should be good to go. So if you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, maybe consider subscribing and sticking around for some future videos. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you think that I messed up anything in this video. Or if maybe there's a couple other things I should mention. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to get that out there because I realized kind of looking back at the video that maybe it wasn't, some of the areas might have not been the best for beginners. So I just kind of want to make this second part to clean up some of that. But yeah, have a good night, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.